All right.
And we're live.
Cool, cool.
What's up? How you doing, buddy?
How's it going? Doing great. How are you?
Good. Well, it's always awkward because it's like we've already been hanging out for like 10 minutes, and then I gotta react like we just hopped on with each other. So bear with
It's
us.
it's a little performance for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But
I've just hopped in.
yeah,
How are you doing?
just loaded in. No, it is what it is. But yeah, that's why I try to like hop in as fast as I can. So what's up, guys? Say what up in the chat if you guys are in the chat. What up, Shakespeare? What up, everyone else that is tuning in? We have a guest that we've had on before. Gus is from OUTR Studios, and he's going to be talking to us about, well, one thing specifically that I want to get into is their builder battle. Are you calling that builder battle pass? Is that what the like official name is, or what are you?
Yeah, so we've kind of been going back and forth. So it's definitely going to be the builder battles, also
Uh-huh.
known as build battles. So we have a page. I'll pull it up a little bit later. So on outer.studio slash builder battles, you can go check it out. We've kind of broken down a little bit of the history of build battles. So, they've been going on for, I think, over a decade. Really famous in the Minecraft community, really famous in, a lot of other, any type you can, build, construct, and even battle, right?
Yeah.
That's what's, brought this community of build battles originally together. And we thought no better place than to revive and bring this full swing into the sandbox community.
Heck yeah. Yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense to be doing something like that in the sandbox. So it's awesome to see you guys kind of bringing it full steam ahead in. So why don't you, before we get into that, why don't you
Yeah.
give, because I'm sure some people that are listening, maybe this is their first time hearing from you, just give everyone a quick little synopsis, if you will, of what Outer Studios is.
And it's such a funny question now because I feel like we're changing so rapidly. But
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you how we started. So I'm Gus, and I'm one of the co-founders of Outer Studio. Unfortunately, Beasting couldn't make it. His name is Danny. He is the other founder of the Outer Studios, and it's 3 a.m. where he's at. He's in the Netherlands right now. So we
Sleeping.
started out. Yeah, is he sleeping? So we both started out in the architectural and visualization industry. That's how we met, and building real world buildings and architectural visualization and renderings, both in Unreal Engine and CAD and all sorts of fun stuff. And so Outer Studios was kind of born from that idea of how do we bring realistic and unrealistic architecture into these respective metaverses, and especially with the sandbox, we wanted to do something unique and not just build something for maybe one or two people to buy and pop on their land, but something that people could build with, continuously and add on to forever. And we thought, what a better way than things that we're already using in the real world, and that was modular design. And just
Mm.
like people are building all over the world in real time, they're using modular components. Now you're getting into 3D printed homes, which is very much the same concept. They go in sections, and so that's what spawned the original idea of our container assets. And some people are like, why would you bring something so real to the metaverse? And we're like, well, firstly, it does give a little bit of real aspect to something so unreal, right? We're
Mhm.
we're kind of encapsulated in this digital environment already that is so breathtaking and unrealistic. So being able to provide tools that you're familiar with and you see in the real world, and working with boxes and other shapes, and allowed in a way to kind of think outside the box. And we've seen a lot of crazy stuff utilized just from those assets. And then now we're on to the Underground series, the sci-fi series, and we're going to have other series coming out. We've already come out with multiple drops for the Underground series. There will be a second drop for the sci-fi. And our goal is to always continue to add to these so that, even people just coming on for the first time will have the assets that they can grab to start building quickly and efficiently as game designers. But you also have people that have held them, and they'll, be getting new assets dropped to them to continue building on what they're using. And yeah, so we are modular architecture,
Yeah, yeah.
essentially.
No, I love the modular idea that you guys came up with, and like it makes total sense. And like I've been using the tunnels and or the underground stuff and the sci-fi stuff quite a bit the last like month or so, and it's crazy like how fat like you're saying like somebody could literally come into the sandbox and find out about it yesterday, download game maker today, buy your assets also today, and also today build out an entire game. Like it would obviously like it would probably take a little bit longer than that, but
Yeah.
if they're really skilled, or if it was a really small game, they could build out everything in like one day. And it's like it's crazy because like to know how long it actually takes to like build every little, like if you wanted to add some tunnel structure underground or whatever,
Yeah.
like building that for the first time takes forever. And even if you have some of your own like templates that you work off of, like it's a lot of work. So like it's cool that you're enabling, especially like game developers, people that are more focused on developing the games and not so much building the assets. They can come to you or the marketplace, obviously, but you guys are a great place to stop as far as if they're looking for something that's like this modular aspect. So I just think I
Thank
think
you.
it's super cool. So if you guys haven't checked it out already, obviously go check them out. It's a lot of cool stuff. There's quite a few streamers, myself included. I haven't been streaming a whole lot lately, but I'll get back to it. But that are streaming and showing like what you can really do with these assets. Shakespeare, I know, plays around with them a bunch. He's in the chat. What up, chat? By the way, I see you
What's
guys.
up, Shakespeare?
Go West, Hoddle.
The OG.
Um,
What's up, everyone?
but
I know. Well, thank you. And
yeah,
and to be honest, I mean, I just watched your recap video, and we'll get into that a little bit later. The
yeah,
contest going on right now is just another way that we wanted to showcase, of how these can be used. Because I think as we grow and the space grows and more people are onboarded, it will be one of those things where there's going to be more companies doing this. It only makes sense.
totally, totally.
And we have no, we want people to do this because it's as game developers come in, there needs to be a place that they can go. There also needs to be a place for voxel artists to create, maybe extensions off of these
Mm-hmm.
and sell their, it's like I could absolutely see someone coming on and say, this is a structure that matches up to the outer tunnel system.
Right, right.
And that's something a Vox edit artist could do, and a game developer at the same time could be coming in saying, "Oh, I need that whole kit so I can finish off this section of my world," and they can at the same time go to the artist and say, "I need that custom building you made that attaches to this extension." So
Yeah.
it kind of just comes full circle in the ecosystem.
Yeah, no, I I don't anticipate that you guys will be the only ones doing this. It's awesome to be the first ones doing it for sure.
It is.
So it's super cool to see it all playing out. And like I said, the more that I use them, like the more that I'm like this, it really is a no-brainer. Like this is needed. This is needed. Like it's something that is going to get used a lot. So like you guys nailed it. So I'm excited to see as the world realizes what is going on over here. I think you guys are going to be in a really good position. So that's super cool. But so we kind of brought it up. I think I'm just going to toss the ball over into your court, and you can kind of decide where you want to start with the builder battles. But
Okay.
but let's talk about builder battles, because I know that's a hot topic on a lot of people's minds right now. I've heard in a couple different discords people have been chatting a little bit about it. So let's hear what you got about it.
So I will give a little hint that I think the first official builder battle is actually going to be with someone in this chat, but I don't need to say its name. But let me go ahead and share the screen real quick. So again, if everyone wants to check out what we put together, We do have a section on our website, and let me know. You can see everything, right?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, perfect. So if you just go to OUTR Studio, we have all our series, and then right at the end we have builder battles. And we thought it was important to put a little bit of the history, like I said earlier, so that we are no way claiming that we are creating this. The builder battles have been around a long time, and they've been streamed in stadiums and everything else. I think Ninja, the streamer, he had one of the largest build battles ever for like $2 million prize or something he held. So
That's
what we
wild.
want to do, yeah, it is crazy when you really think about it, but there's absolutely no reason I don't see, as the sandbox continues to grow, that there couldn't be these worldwide build battles going on.
Oh, yeah.
And so we wanted to start this like initial infrastructure of let's just start doing it and figure it out, right? And so we tried so much in the background to prep for this, and at a certain point you can only prep before you have to start testing, right? And so the first thing we did is, a lot of people, if you're not familiar with the sandbox, if you're new to the sandbox, or you are familiar with the sandbox, if you add 10 items to your cart, you have to check out 10 different gas fees. There's no I want to buy a kit and batch checkout yet. So that feature, I believe, someday will be available once Polygon is fully integrated. But that is somewhat of an issue for a company like us that has modular sets. The sci-fi set is like 16 assets. The underground set, even with both kits, is like 12 assets. So by the time you pay all the gas fees, you pretty much double paid for everything.
Right.
So we went ahead and we came out with the passes. And so what we wanted to think of, and this is kind of a brainstorming session, and this was, we've talked to other builders, we've talked to other streamers, and we were all talking, and we were doing our research on what people are doing. And for us, we always want to provide utility. Even right now, our legendary NFTs, if you buy them, they come with the real world build files to build it in the real world, the container. You can get that, you get the architectural files, and you can go build it on a plot of land.
I think that's so cool, by the way. Like,
thank you. And so that's like a big thing for us, is like we really like we have to have utility for everything that we do. And when we were thank you, I'm stoked on that. I want that to happen. That's why I get so I want someone to buy one and be like, I'm building it.
Yeah, I want to buy one and build it. I'm just trying to figure out when I'm gonna do that, but I kind of plan on doing that. So
hell yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome. So yeah, with the battle pass, essentially these are a way to get the entire kit first and foremost. So you would basically and this is a whole other division of Outer. We started just going down this rabbit hole. So now we have a full-time dev team, an Outer dev team, and we had to, again, we were just like, how do we do this? Let's do it ourselves. We're going to climb down this rabbit hole. So then, we started creating minting websites, which our first one was actually insideoutmint.com. It's a free to mint project. It's a music project. They have their own Discord. It's friends of ours we helped out. But that's a whole nother story. So this is the Outer minting website. And essentially you go here, it's all on Polygon. You connect your wallet and you're able to go buy an underground or sci-fi pass. And once you get the pass goes into your wallet. And then 24 to 48 hours later, you're airdropped every single asset in that pass that's a common asset. So there's a few of these that are legendary and epic assets that are, a little higher priced in the market. And we think you didn't need it. This is basically a starter kit. So we didn't want to give every single piece in the component, but it does have the majority of everything. And so again, you pay one fee, one gas fee, and then you're airdropped every item. But here's where it gets interesting. So by holding this pass, the NFT that looks like this, that comes into your wallet, you now have access to builder battles. And so we are building out an entire base portal where you log in with your wallet. It proves that you own a builder pass, and it'll be a page. And I don't want to get too much into it because we are still building out, but basically it'll be a portal for battle passes and for builder battles. And it'll allow you to, enter your name. Again, quite a few different features. There'll be leaderboards in there. And this is us building out the framework of the future of what we want to do. And so it's going to take some time, but we are going to start doing the builder battles relatively soon, and they are timed. So essentially, kind of like what we're doing with what you're actually competing in, which is a much longer version of somewhat of a builder battle. It's more of a collaborative build battle, but that's a 6 week. The builder battles themselves with the battle passes will be 2 hour live stream events. And we really think it's going to be interesting to see, basically a speed battle competition utilizing shift click modular assets, what people are going to be able to build. Because I know just from myself using them, I'm sure you, like you said, you've been using them. We've talked to quite a few other people and just watched people live on stream, how quickly they're putting things together. And the more, if you train on them a little bit, if you put a week into these, you'd be surprised with what you can come up with, especially, with grabbing things and duplicating. You can make massive structures.
Totally. Yeah. I think you're spot on with like after a week of building with it, you get pretty fucking fast with them. And yeah, like and you figure out like little tricks and like you start making up little things that make sense to you. And yeah, it's
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see what gets built in 2 hours. Cause I feel that pressure. So for those of you that don't know, really quick overview of what's going on with Pickaxe Master and OUTR Studios. They're collabing on a challenge. Yeah, we'll just call it a challenge. It's called the Underground Master Challenge, and it is 4 teams of 2 that get 2 hours a week to build on a section of a 1x1. So it's split into fourths. And yeah, so each team, 2 people, gets 2 hours a week to build on it for 6 weeks. And eventually I think we can collab and stuff, but we don't need to get into that. But I don't even know why I was bringing this up to be honest. Why was it so the reason I bring it up is because you only have 2 hours a week, and with two people on each team, depending on how the team decides to do it. But for me and Karatraz, my partner, we do 1 hour each week. And
here's an image of it. And to be on stream.
Yes, check that out real quick, guys, because it's pretty cool. It's really coming along, and it's only been 2 weeks now, right? Yeah, we're starting the 3rd week this week, but yeah, it's super cool what's happening over there. But the reason I brought it up is like 1 hour flew by, and it like you really just have like I'm one of the most like ADD like streamers. Like I get really distracted by the chat, which is why I put it way over here, so that I have to like intentionally look over, otherwise I do get really distracted by it. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how fast people can actually build, because I mean, I don't know, it'll just be interesting. I know there's definitely people out there that are more skilled at it than or at least more efficient at it than me, but it'll be fun. Do you think so? Here's a question: what is the goal of the battles? Like, so maybe I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, so there's a few different things. So one thing we do is as builders of the Sandbox Metaverse, one of the things that's a top priority for us and a lot of people that are on here, why we do what we do is streaming, is to bring new people in. And I think having something that's familiar, not only is it content that is very, very watchable and watched a lot on YouTube, but if you just go to YouTube and type in build battles, you'll see thousands and thousands upon thousands of videos with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views, depending on who the streamer is. So that was one of the things is, yes, how do we bring new people into the sandbox and start showing this ecosystem off? Because that's only going to make us stronger. It's as the sandbox grows, we all grow. It's all great, right? So that's kind of A. B, a little bit selfishly, is to show off, what we can do with the underground assets and or the outer assets as we're building, these modular items. I think a lot of people take for granted, kind of like you were saying, is like the more you use them, you're like, wow, these are, very helpful. So one thing we do want to, show off is the fact that we are going to continue building in different themes and styles, and we want OUTR Studios to be a place people come to and just be like, I need a kit for no matter what it is, right?
Yeah.
If I need a whole kitchen themed modular set, boom, it's done. That's one thing that we're even doing on our social hub is, kind of showing off these different kits that we've pre-built, and we've spent the last year building. I mean, I'd have to pull up the spreadsheet, but it is thousands upon thousands of assets, and many of them are modular.
Hell yeah!
So we are definitely prepping for the future of what can happen within the sandbox. And I think the third thing is it's just a lot of fun, and we're hoping to see what people do, and we want to see like collaboration. So we definitely want other people hosting. It's not going to just be me or my face or Danny on there.
Yeah.
We want other people. We want you. We want Maddox. We want OG Shakespeare. We want people to come in and be able to like host their own build battle.
Totally.
And maybe it's even utilizing your own assets. So it's a platform to say like, hey, let's show this off. And one thing that we were thinking of is what better way to kind of fund this than have people buy the pass, because they're not just paying for the items they're getting, right, already at a discounted price in the one gas fee, but a portion of this is going into a pool that helps us fund these battles so that people can win sand prizes and win NFTs. Yep. And so it's a lot, and a lot of different reasons, and I think there will be even more as it hopefully continues to grow. I mean, I am just so shocked. Like, I know this image is still up because we knew going into this, Pickaxe Master and us were discussing, how can we do a shared wallet, collaborative build, preload the assets, kind of do something that we hadn't really seen. And this is kind of a build battle in its own right. It's just a much longer platform, but it's still, the 2-hour style, right, where it's streamed. Everything is like everyone is watched in a sense, right? And we just knew that the complete face of this map was going to change, and I just didn't expect it. I don't think I expected it to be so drastic, and I love it. Like, it puts a smile on my face every time I look at this.
Yeah, and it's really cool how unique all the different areas are too. Like, like each one's not even close to the same as the other one. So yeah, it's super.
And this
cool.
is just the surface.
Right,
like, wait until you get under that. You see what's going on.
Yeah.
So and we've been discussing. We have some twists and turns coming your guys' way, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So
that's exciting. That's cool.
Yeah, we had always planned, which is kind of in like the pre-prep in the general in the Discord, is like there will be things that get thrown your way, not only new assets. So I don't know if you guys saw it. Beasting uploaded the ramp asset.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
And so yeah, he's uploaded a couple assets. I think he mentioned in the Discord. But yeah, so there's some new assets to use. And then Pickaxe uploaded some new assets, and each week there's going to be new assets uploaded until the final week. And then there's going to be some curveballs thrown in, as far as, what you guys can do together and maybe not together.
Hell yeah. No, that's exciting. And that's the figuring out how to do this collaborative building style battle or whatever you want to challenge. Like, I think it's awesome what you guys have come up with so far, and it's definitely something that I think is going to be popular down the road. Like it was something that was on my mind, so it's cool to see it playing out, and I'm like, ooh, I could definitely do a lot of the similar things. So yeah, I love. That's like my most favoritist, my most favorite thing about this space at this time, especially during the bears, I've been through a few, is that the innovation and the collaboration that happens during these shitty times, if you're a trader anyways, it's so cool to see like what comes out of these times. And like, this is, I mean, it always gets said, but like, this is when things get built is in the bear. And
it's absolutely, it's one of those things. Like, I have so many friends. They ask like, "Oh, aren't you sad?" And I'm like, "No, I'm doing the same thing I was doing then.
Yeah,
My head is down on a computer. I'm talking
right.
with my team when we're building. You know, like
Yeah, now I don't have to be pissed off because I missed the next big flip or this or that. Now I can just be,
exactly
because like the whole time that all the fun was happening, I was focused on building stuff and like was missing all this shit, and I was like, God damn it, I've been here and I just like have not been paying enough attention to take advantage.
right."
So I love the Bears because then like you said, you can just keep having your head down and working, and you don't feel like you're missing out or have any FOMO. So yeah.
And you know, it's funny you said that too, because the only time I've actually met Sebastian in person is at the NFC Lisbon, which is a conference in Portugal, and so it's funny because Danny and I have always worked together, but we've actually never met in person until that conference because he's on the other side of the world. But we worked together for years and years. Anyways, so it was funny. Someone brought up that question in one of his when he was speaking, as you know, what do you think about building in a bear market versus a bull market? It was very much similar to that. It's like, I think I'm way more focused, and the teams are more focused in a bear market versus a bull, because everyone's like, oh, I need to flip this or do
Totally.
that. Like, you're just like, oh, okay, dude.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, that's cool to hear that he has the same kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's so true. I mean, it's just like I mean, I feel the FOMO during whenever the bulls are happening, and I'm trying to build stuff. So like I can't imagine what it's like having to wrangle in a team of, I mean, I don't know how many people are on the sandbox team, but definitely a handful. So like trying to get all of those people, like I imagine everyone is way more productive right now. So
Definitely.
but let's to get back to the builder battle passes. Is that what?
Yep.
That's what I'm gonna call it, because that's
Yeah, builder battles, and or it's if it's easier or faster, it's just a battle pass or a build
battle pass. Yeah,
Yeah.
battle pass. So with these battle passes,
Yep.
you are going to get the starter pack assets that are listed somewhere.
Yep. Yeah. So it's on the minting website. It shows you the number of assets you're getting, and it does reference that they are, you know, the common version and rare, not the epic and legendary.
Uh-huh. And then you are also allowed to participate in the battles, or like what's the idea with that? Yeah.
Yeah, so if you own a pass, you have access to the builder battles, and that's just something we just want to make, you know, just kind of a fair, even playing field. It shouldn't be like, you know, one thing that we will say is part of being in a battle is you're gonna have to stream. You don't have to be on camera, but your monitor does.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
we
for
need
sure.
to see what you're building. So that's one thing I will say is, you know, if you want to buy a pass and get the assets airdrop one, so that you can just start learning how to use them. And then whenever you decide you want to use the pass to actually compete, that's when you'll be able to have this kind of unique portal and access and come in and kind of do signups. For now, it's just going to be because we are still, you know, a very, you know, we all know each other in the community right now,
Right.
and new people coming in that are buying these, we're reaching out individually and setting up the battles because it's just easy right now, but eventually it will have to all go through a portal.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, that's gonna be super cool. And I'm gonna have to talk to you about this portal thing, because my devs might need to talk to your devs.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
Or something, because yeah. But don't get distracted, Krafter. For something that popped into my head when you were explaining that is, I think this is also going to be a super cool opportunity for you guys, like as a studio, to like research and development, basically. Like you're going to be able to like real life see how people, I mean, obviously the builders are rushed, but see how rushed builders are using the assets. And maybe I imagine this is going to eventually, as it plays out more and more, spark different ideas for you guys on like what you should be building or how you should be building, or et cetera, et cetera. So like I think it's just a great idea in and of itself, period. But it's a great idea for you guys specifically, because it is going to allow you to get a lot of like user feedback,
Absolutely. Yeah,
live user feedback, really. So
definitely.
so yeah, it's cool. um do you know, or is this still secret, or you don't know, when the first official battle is going to be?
So I will tell you, it is within. So we're still confirming schedules,
Uh-huh.
but I am hoping that it is going to be either this weekend or next week. So we're looking within a 10-day or less period as of today.
Okay, I mean, that's sooner than I expected your answer to be. So I love it. I love it. It's coming up. So we're excited. I'm assuming the chat's excited. Sounds like somebody in the chat might have more information than anyone else. Um, but I think we are all excited for it. So I guess, what is this going to look like for us whenever we as viewers are wanting to watch this? Like, what's the experience going to be?
So I think this is going to be the hardest thing. That's just going to take time, and it's going to take trial and error because I have my brother has done like esports stuff, and I love esports layouts where it's kind of like 1 to 2 hosts. Usually it's better with 2 hosts just because you get a little bit more banter and fun.
Yeah.
But to be honest, we did a testing round behind the scenes, and you see some of that footage in the Builder Battle trailer, and I think it, to be honest, it's so great. So we have a few different scenes set up, right? Just like a TV show. So scene just in OBS, we have scenes where it's head to head screens, and then obviously blow up of each player in their screen where they're kind of talking about what they're doing is like a play by play and being interviewed while they're building, which is always great because you're totally distracting them. And then what's even better is we haven't decided if we're going to turn this feature off because we were just testing it. But basically, when one builder's screen is blown up, the other builder can still be talking smack to them, but none of the live audience gets to hear it.
I like that.
So you basically have one builder being interviewed laughing out of their mind because someone is on their ear going off on them.
Yes.
So I think that could be a fun feature, but this is all going to be, again, it's at a certain point we went through everything in theory, and we were building all these sites in the background, and these between minting sites and what we're doing for the battle pass site. And eventually we just had to start doing it because it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
We're going to get everyone's feedback. Audience is going to be like, oh, you should have switched this screen more or something, or that's just all. We're going to need everyone's feedback, really.
Totally. And I mean, that's the name of the game, especially right now, is just do it and you'll figure it out. no one's gonna be upset that you're trying something new. They're just gonna I mean, obviously there'll be trolls. We have a few of those out there, but I mean, overall the feedback will be very beneficial instead of just kind of sitting in the dark trying to guess what you're gonna do. So
Definitely.
yeah, I think that this is gonna be cool. And I did not realize that it was gonna be coming up so soon. So that's exciting.
Yeah. And yeah, I will say I don't want to bite my tongue or shoot myself for saying it, because again, it's based on we're just confirming the schedules. So we're hoping. That's why it's not been officially announced until everything's confirmed. So it's gonna be one of those things when it comes out, it's like it's here. There's not gonna be a bunch of like next week, or it's just gonna be like turn on your screen.
It's time. It's time. Come watch. Yeah.
It's time to battle.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Am I missing anything as far as the battle pass stuff goes? Otherwise, I'm also very interested to, if you can, show us some of what you guys have been doing in the social hub, or at least talk to us about how the social hub is coming along. Because I know last time we had you on, we we dove into it, I think, or maybe maybe I'm remembering it.
Definitely. So I wish this is totally my fault. The PC I'm on here, I have basically this is dedicated to other things.
Yeah.
And I just tried to anyways, the game maker's not on it right now.
Oh,
I just had to do stuff. So I have a PC sitting right next to me, a laptop that does have the game maker on that I use every day, but I'm not sure how I'd be able to share it in that meeting right now.
It's all good.
But I can definitely tell you about it and maybe show some.
I was gonna say, I know you have some screenshots and stuff, right?
Yeah. So let's go up to. Let's go back. But yeah, as far as the builder and the builder battles and the passes themselves, and we've called them so many things. I mean, even right here, we call them modular voucher passes, right?
Yeah.
This will change, right? We are going to finalize.
I was going to
everything.
say, you're still finding the name. That's fine.
Yeah, we're trying to make sure it rolls off the tongue and everyone understands what it is. Because another reason we put vouchers, we want people to understand right when you see it, you're getting something more than just this pass. You're getting everything included, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out. That, like I said, there's going to be a portal. We'll have a lot more news on that, and then I'll kind of drop a teaser at the end of what we're going through. But I'll jump. Remind me. Say what was the teaser you're gonna?
I won't forget.
Okay. All right. So, and again, I just want to credit real quick Pickaxe, Gibish, Bruno. They're rock stars. None of this happens without them. They put together, I mean, it's been a collaborative effort, but I mean, they're at the helm of this 6-week builder battle that's happening right now. This collaborative build battle that's going on. So shout out to Pickaxe.
Yeah, they're crushing it. I mean, shout out to you guys too. You guys are doing some work too.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right. Okay. So this is a video. I don't know how many people were able to see this. We just posted this. No audio. Usually, I'm super big into like editing our videos with putting audio and flash it. I was like, you know what? We're gonna raw it. We're gonna throw it out there.
Yeah.
So this is a functionality that you're gonna see in quite a few different places of our hub. And on this main level, we wanted to show off. Because this whole floor that you're seeing, like that's right there to his left, that whole hallway or aisle, I was trying to blend the words. That is all pre-built kitchens, and that's like kits eventually people will be able to buy. And again, we wanted to think of a way, so you can see them to the left right now. Those are all kitchens. So we wanted a way to show off almost like a generative kitchen, right? So we came up with, I forget, we're still going over the final numbers on exactly how many options there are, but pretty much it'd be pretty rare if people got two of the same. I mean, once you get into thousands of users, yeah, they're going to get the same stuff, but it's something we wanted to, just show off not only the functionality of what can be built within the game maker, and this takes a lot. So what you're not seeing is all the functionality that Danny's built in, and he's been spending countless hours on it, trial and error testing. And there's still a couple phases you haven't seen here at the end. So there's going to be backsplashes and art on the wall and different furniture. So there's a couple more options to finalize the room. And so this is educational. Because I don't know about you, but I've done very minimal. I shouldn't say this. I've done a lot of staging work for like the rock and roll industry, so I know how to build things out of truss and stuff. But as far as building a room and a kitchen, I don't know the first thing.
Me neither.
so and Danny does. So Danny does. He does a lot of his own home improvement work, and so this is kind of a way to educate. I think in later when you'll see this pop up through our hub is how do you build a room, and it starts with just how he started, right? You're gonna pick a booth of frame, so it's framed out. You got a bare room, you've got to go mud it, right? So you got to drywall first. There he goes, gets his drywall. You got to get the mudding in, which is essentially like your plaster. and then you got to paint it, right? And then you can actually start designing. So first and foremost that we want to go is kind of just fun, because it's like, hey, let's build something. It's generative, and everyone will get to take a picture and share. And one thing you're seeing, again, this is a social hub, so there's so much you're not seeing. But we wanted to bring in a factor of, let's say, max capacity of users is inside the hub. And this is during an alpha season, right? So not only is it a social hub that people can visit, but it's maybe launched during an alpha season. We wanted to make it so not 10 people were in the same booth taking, because that's a problem, right? You don't see what anyone else is building. And so you'd basically have your own booth, but you'd have like 10 people walking in and out of your booth, and you're trying to take a picture, you post it to Twitter, and we're like, how do we solve this problem? Well, let's add 5 booths. So this way, everyone should potentially be picking different booths, because they'll see people like, hey, there's already 1 or 2 people in there. I'm going to go in my own booth and build and get it done, take my picture, and get it all taken care of. So this is a functionality you'll see on a few different floors.
I love it.
Sorry, I feel like I'm talking too much.
No, not at all. And this, it's like I don't know what it's like, but but I don't know what my brain was thinking about for a second. But it is another very like innovative way to be like gamifying the social hub, and I think again it's super cool to see you guys doing something like that. So just props again.
Thank you. What is this thing doing? I just signed in. What are you trying to do here? Okay. Now I got Will Ferrell on my feet or something. Okay. I just wanted to pull up. Okay, so here's this gives you a nice little bit of an overview.
Yes.
So you can kind of get you're getting a little bird's eye view of this building over here. So this building is fairly large. You're not seeing all of it right here. Gosh, I wish I would have prepped and hopped you inside, but we'll do that another time.
It's all good.
And so this building here is the Collaborator Hub, which we actually need to talk about.
Perfect.
But so this is showing off again a lot of our modular containers and how they can be used. But it's also showing off, partners and collaborators and, just everyone that we work with and want to show off. And we really want this building to be a collaborative space to show off assets. And one thing that this whole facility, this whole hub is really built around showing off things inside the space, because I know I've had the problem. I go to the Sandbox Marketplace. It's great. The asset rotates in 3D, but until I have it inside the game maker, I don't really know what I have.
Yeah.
And so we feel like this is a great representation to be like, I love the way that looks. I want to buy it. And the Sandbox does the same thing, right? They show off a ton of their assets in worlds, in experiences, and then you can buy them. So we really think this is an important feature moving forward as more creators are coming in with fun stuff, new items. This should be a place that they can come show off. Like, hey, I want to be in the Collaborator Hub for this month, and the top floor that is very hidden right now that we've shown off in stream is actually going to be just a complete. It's a huge stage, so we're hoping to do live events and streams inside there. Get some DJs in there. And it's so hard to see because obviously when you're further away the assets are not showing up, but this is like you've got a lot of fancy stuff going on over here architecturally speaking, especially like this wood paneling that's see-through, and we designed all of this actually in 3D software before we ever put one block into the sandbox, so technically we can actually build this in real life.
That's so cool. I love that you guys have that background that you can translate into the metaverse. Like it's cool. Like obviously like the metaverse, you don't need to know anything about that, but it's cool that your stuff literally like is like the scale and like could be gone and built in the real world and like could actually be seen. So yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like a novel little like
It,
Easter
yeah,
egg
I mean,
almost with you guys.
it's definitely one of those things. I think it'll be something that's like forever just part of who we are and what we do. And it's so funny you said to scale. Oh my gosh! Sometimes I have to remind Danny that Beasting that this is, we are in the metaverse.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. He's like, no, that's not real. That's not how it would really be built. And and I love that. I love the fact that everything that we do is very, very accurate. The containers themselves, if you get a chance to really get in and dive in, and those will be coming out fairly soon, and that's a whole nother thing. That's not the official teaser.
Just an extra bean.
That's just an extra little beat. But this is what we call our legendary room, and this will showcase our legendary NFTs. Hopefully, in the future, other large-scale legendary NFTs, if not multiple, from other builders. We really want this place to just be a fun, collaborative, social space for people to come into. Ideally, in the future, a lot of these are, food containers, very much like in like Texas is one of my favorite places where they have like container hangouts basically.
Yeah.
And there's like just whole little communities, and you can get like all sorts of food from all around the world, and they all have their own little containers. And so this whole floor is all set up with different food and containers, and the goal is just like what we've seen in other metaverses is potentially partnering with food companies, and you can actually order something and it's delivered to your house.
Yes, and that's a cool thing for you to bring up, because I was just thinking about this, is that the like the marketplace that we're used to and that we're experiencing right now, like eventually that is all going to be done in a setting like what you guys are building. Like there's no doubt in my mind that that's what will happen eventually, is that you will actually be wandering around the metaverse that you frequent the most and shopping, and you'll say, ooh, like let me try this on this on my avatar that looks like me in real life, so I know if it'll fit right, and what color to get or whatever. And so
Absolutely.
yeah, I think
And
it's
there's no reason there wouldn't be like some sort of native app even to your phone that like pops up, some sort of mirror where it shows the same thing on you, so you can see what it really looks. I mean, I totally agree. I see this is completely the future of how shopping will be, because it's right. It's Web 2 is Web 2. It's stagnant. It's a website. You scroll down, it's got a bar. You see the product. You can turn it. It's gotten fancy, but you don't really see it for what it is. You're not really there. And this feels like a whole nother version of like, I'm kind of really there.
Yeah, totally. And I think that kind of goes back to what you were saying about like buying things in the sandbox marketplace. You don't really know what it's going to look like or what you got until you get it into the game maker and really see it. So yeah, I think like it'll make sense that marketplaces will migrate away from that once the capability is there. So I don't know when that'll actually be like a common thing, but it's definitely coming.
Absolutely. I think we have a few years. I mean, I think VR is going to be mass adoption. And I know at the moment, Sandbox doesn't have any plans for VR, but what they're doing with like the mobile application is going to be a lot more relevant, especially in the coming years.
Yeah.
Because I think VR still has some time, but it will be one of those things. I mean, I liken it to in the let's say late 50s, 60s, even maybe late 60s, people walk in and they'd be like, oh, you have two TVs? Are you crazy? And now you walk in, there's a TV in every room. Everyone's got a device in their pocket. There's laptops, iPads everywhere, right? And that, in the span of 40 years, by the 2000s, that was already a thing before we really even had a version of the internet where we're sitting at now, 20 years later. And so it's just crazy to think of that, and so I think the timeline's even moving faster because technology seems to be just happening so rapidly now. It's every year there's something new. There's going to be AR glasses, and
it really is. It really is wild how fast things kind of seem to like exponentially speed up over time as technology gets just smarter and smarter and faster. Yeah, I could go down this rabbit hole for a long time. So
this is a whole show. We could just stay on tech updates.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my gosh.
But I saw you. Oh, you went away from it. But
Oh,
I saw the squeakers you had on the
oh yeah,
screen.
yeah.
I
Let me
wanted
pull that.
to shout out Maddox and um,
Boom.
that's dope. Like that's a cool display.
I love it. So he did, and there's more to it. This is just like version one, and it's already been added to more. Um, so yeah, so essentially the blue ramp you're seeing has a small display inside, and this is like a ramp to his top hangout area. There's going to be some NPCs here. We're going to have like an area to check out, some signage to like actually go buy, you know, the assets themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is important to us for this entire building. So this entire building is called the Collaborator Hub as part of our social hub, and we want any collaborator partner that we're working with to be able to create a display like this, show it off, have information. I think someday be able to like you know you could try on the squeakers themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what Maddox is doing. I mean, I don't want to give away too much, but just wait until you see what kind of squeakers he's coming out with.
Yeah.
he's,
I
he's got a whole footwear program.
I'm excited to see the evolution of the squeakers. Speaking of, he's supposed to be getting on this show one of these days. He still hasn't booked it though. I need to go nudge him. But
Yeah,
maybe he's dragging his feet and waiting until he has a little bit more to reveal. But
gonna show you everything.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, squeakers. Shout out squeakers and Maddox. Very cool.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the whole idea of the little like collab building or whatever, that's awesome. I love that about this space. Like everyone is, and I mean, I think that's probably part of being like really early to something like this is that the community is so small that everyone really does kind of find their friends and really does a lot of collaboration does start happening.
Absolutely.
And I love that it's important because that's what's going to really push the space forward, because if we're not collaborating with each other and we're the early ones, it's going to take a really long time for people to start noticing it. But if we're at least like if we're working together to make really cool shit, that's going to get the attention of the outsiders quicker.
Yeah,
quicker.
It's only a matter of time, and you said it right. I mean, if we're not collaborating together, why we're here? Then you know, not what's the point, but it's like at the same time, you know, it's kind of like if you're not building it so that you can not only let other people enjoy it, why are you not going to build together so that everyone can enjoy it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it's one of those things. It's like you can only say private so long before you're like, hey, you know what? And you know, it's been so amazing too because I know Beasting he was an ambassador and still is. And so he helps people all the time with tech questions and everything else. And there's been, you know, questions we've had to ask and just having people to reach out to and say, you know, have you encountered this? Yes, I have. How do you fix it?
Right. Yeah.
So it's always nice. You know, it's good to have friends, right?
100%. And I think it's cool. It's a cool, I wouldn't say trial, but like, it's cool to be experiencing this because this is something that like, I think obviously probably a lot of us have envisioned some sort of metaverse future in our lives since we're here. I would imagine we probably envisioned it a little bit before it actually got here. But like it's obviously we're still very early to the whole metaverse. But it's cool to see what it's already making possible in such a short amount of time. Like I've only been spending my time in the metaverse consistently for like 2 years, and like I've met so many cool people, and I can just continue to meet more and more cool people, and it's like it's like the next level of social. It's almost like what social media should be, like where
no, absolutely,
and social media probably was this at one point too, but it's like it's actually social. There's more so than just
right when
yelling.
Facebook was actually a college app. People were out there actually engaging, talking to each other, and not, you know, there wasn't ads on every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely an evolution from Web 2 to Web 3, and I know at first I was like, why are people calling it Web 3? And it gives you an understanding of, especially the creators now, and it's being so art driven, right? Everything is so art. You can't look at something all in numbers and code when you have to create something that people are going to enjoy, that's beautiful, that's maybe dark, that's sinister, right? All these different things you can go down to create games all have some sort of artistic influence. And I think having that a broader scope of bringing people in has been a lot more friendly, right? You see people
Hmm.
like, hey, watch out for mental health, like all these things. It's like you didn't see that when you're getting in social media.
Yeah, that's very true. And
Yeah.
yeah, and shout out or not shout out social media, shout out mental health.
Yes,
It is important.
absolutely.
Always
It is
gotta
important.
stay on top of that. Stay on top of it before it catches you, because when it catches you, it's hard to get out of it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, um, I was trying to think. Were you gonna show something else, or I know?
I no, I think that's really it. The only teaser I had was more of a statement.
Okay, I think we can probably safely say that this is probably a pretty good time to wrap up. We're almost at the hour
Okay.
mark. Or
Perfect.
well, I guess we're probably over the hour mark, but yeah, let's wrap this one up, because I know we'll have you on again. So we're just gonna keep
Definitely.
having you on, because you guys keep doing cool stuff.
And thank you for inviting us, man.
Uh,
We love what you're doing, and we love what you're building right now. It's freaking amazing. We go in just briefly on everyone's catch up videos, and
mhm.
we've checked in just to make sure like all the assets we're loading are loading in the game maker. We're like, holy shit, you see what they built? Holy crap, dude, what is that? Like it
Yeah,
comes out of nowhere. So I love it. I love it.
it
But
cool. Well, thank you, and thank you again for coming on. Let's get to the teaser. Is that what we're gonna call it?
Yes. So all I'm going to tease at is, so anyone who didn't see at the beginning, there is a battle coming up very soon. There's going to be a builder battle coming up soon. What I will tease at is the battle that is happening, the 6 week builder battle, where things are getting thrown in that you, sir, are a competitor of. There's going to be something very special at the end of all this. And it's not just a prize, and it's not just an NFT, but all I'm going to say is the word forge.
Ooh, I
There
like
will be there will
Forge.
be a forging. So just keep that in mind, you guys. You guys are building all this cool stuff, and we are building in the background to make sure you have even more cool stuff.
That sounds dope. I don't know. I now my brain's just like spinning. I don't know quite what to expect, but I love the idea of forging anything within the within this like NFT ecosystem, because
Yeah.
it's so like it's accessible, and it's like there. It makes sense that you should. It's almost like you should be doing it. Like it's almost like like
it, it
right.
will be a thing. I think that most people will do with their project. It just makes sense, especially on a collaboration effort. Is
Mm-hmm.
right. It's like one of the companies I loved and I followed since the beginning is Artifact Studios, and I just love
Artifact's
everything that they
great.
do
Yeah.
in the technology, and so that's why I just want to drop Forge, because if you follow Artifact, you're familiar with the Forge.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. No. Artifact is dope shit too. I love the way that they do things. I also really like they 10 KTF. Have you heard of 10
Yes.
KTF?
Yep. Yeah.
Wake me son. Um, they do forging as well. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about it, but every time I like listen to anyone talk about 10 KTF, I'm like, this is some cool stuff. And then, of course, like Yuga Labs just acquired them. So, or maybe you didn't know that, but now you do. Yuga Labs
No,
acquired.
yeah. Yeah. So I think it's funny. I don't think a lot of people knew, but Beeple is behind 10KFT.
Yeah, yeah.
He was one of the thought behind it. But what they are doing some very cool stuff, and that is one company. Definitely keep an eye out for like the functionality and utility and the tech behind what they're going to be doing in the next few months is incredible. Like it's gonna set a precedence, and I think a lot of people are going to follow suit.
Yeah. That's kind of what it feels like is what they've been up to for a while. Is that
Yeah.
they're basically gearing up to being like, this is how things
Oh,
are.
yeah.
This is how things are done. So do it this way.
Everyone's funning, and they're sitting on a war chest just building. So
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, whatever. Okay.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is. It is. It is what it is. But sweet. So word of the day, Forge. Don't forget
Forge.
it. Look forward to it. I'm like, what the hell is gonna happen? You guys got me thinking. Cool. Well, like I said, appreciate you coming on. We obviously will have you on again whenever there's new stuff to talk about. I'm looking forward to watching the upcoming battle whenever that goes down, and of course figuring out what this Forge aspect means. So so excited for everything that's coming. I will give you the stage for the last bit here, and you can do whatever you would like with it. Plug yourself, get people to follow you guys where they should.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you again for having us on, man. And I feel like we've just been building, and there's so much stuff to drop. So if you guys can check it out, it's just outer.studio. You can just go to our Twitter at OUTR Studios. The website link is there. From the website, you can find our mint page, and the minting page is live right now. You can go mint to pass. You'll be airdropped all of the assets. It's also, how you're going to get into these builder battles. And I feel like there's just so much stuff that we're doing, and we're trying to tell everyone about everything. So please go check it out, because we are very proud of it, and there's so much to do. And if you have feedback, we'd really appreciate it. That's only going to make us better. So and thanks again. This is awesome. Thanks for giving us a platform to talk about ourselves.
Heck yeah. I mean, hey, it's needed, and I bring. Haven't yet, but I plan to bring some people on that I don't totally agree with. But like, I bring people on that are doing cool shit that I want to be a part of, or at least know about and use. So it's a pleasure to have anyone on that comes on. So especially
we
you guys,
really appreciate it.
So I think it's something that was needed. So now people can start to get in the know of what's really happening in the metaverse. So thank you guys in the chat for tuning in. Thank you,
thanks everyone,
Gus, for tuning in. And I will catch everyone on the next episode, and someday you will see Gus's face again. So peace, guys. Thank you guys. Love you. Bye.